Hello, everybody. Tim here to give you a review on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is directed by Patty Jenkins and it stars Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, and this is the newest in the DC extended universe. So far we've had Man of Steel, which I think is an okay movie. I don't hate it by any means. There's a lot I actually really like about it. But it's a little bloated, a little too long for me. And then we got Batman v Superman, which obviously I don't need to get into, but a very divisive film, and Suicide Squad, which was generally disliked by most people. There are lovers of the movie out there, and that's great. But for me, I liked it the first time I saw it, and then I've seen it two more times since then, and each time it's gotten worse. So that's no good. So I'm not gonna lie, I was going into this movie not very excited. I didn't really care for the trailers. I thought that Gal Gadot in Batman v Superman was fine. Nothing to write home about. I thought her action scenes were awesome, but as an actress, I just didn't know how she was going to be able to carry her own movie. Um, and then, of course, over the last couple weeks, a lot of critic reviews have been coming out, and now this movie has like a 92 to 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, something like that. So, all of a sudden, I was like, huh, okay, maybe this thing could be interesting. Like, maybe it could actually be good. So, I still tried to go in just a little bit, not looking forward or just not. I didn't want to get my hopes up too high after hearing some reviews. And you know what? I've got to say that I think the movie's good. I think it's good. It's definitely the best that the DCEU has to offer. Between Man of Steel, BVS, and Suicide Squad, this is definitely the best one, and probably the one that I would, if someone was like, "Hey, let's watch a DC movie from this extended universe," that would be the one I would gravitate towards and want to watch again. Um, but there's definitely some issues with the movie that I will get into. To start off with positives, I thought Gal Gadot was actually very good. When it started, I was like, I don't know, but she really finds her stride, and I think that she ended up pulling off a pretty good performance. Some of the emotional beats that she has to hit are a little like, oh, okay, she's not a trained actress, and you can tell, but she's so good in the role, especially with the physical stuff, with the acting, or with the fighting, and all the choreography. You could tell that she was just having a blast, and it helped you like the character. And then Chris Pine is great in this movie as Steve Trevor. I've always been a Chris Pine fan, but especially in Hell or High Water, I thought that was one of my favorite movies of the year last year. And then I love those Star Trek, J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. So I've always liked Chris Pine, and he's great in this movie. They are great together, and they are the main thing that made me want to keep going throughout this movie. They just had a charisma to both of them, their relationship between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. So I thought they were both excellent, and this is, for the most part, a very well written movie where the last couple have been not so well written, and you can tell the studio was messing with the scripts and with the directors. And that also gets into my next thing. The direction is great. The action scenes are shot great. The just the color palette of the movie, the shot composition, all of it, top notch from Patty Jenkins, and I thought that was really great. So I know that's only like a few things as that I'm saying is positives. There are a lot more positives, like specific things, like little scenes I really thought were great. The humor I thought was great. The action I thought was great. But with all of that comes my negatives. And I saw this movie with my fiance Maggie, and after the movie, we were talking about the ending and how we both weren't in love with the ending. We thought that the movie's 2 hours and 21 minutes, which is long. She felt it. I didn't. I thought that the runtime was, it was good. It felt very Act One, Act Two, Act Three, and I dug it. But when you get into Act Three, and there's about 20 minutes left in the movie, it does like a whole shift. and I can't say much because I don't want to get into spoilers. But something happens, and the whole movie just kind of turns. And I was not a fan of it. I was not a fan of the way the movie ended. The resolution of the crux of the movie, I thought the resolution was good. I just thought the way they went about doing it, the execution of it, was interesting, and it's hard to explain this without getting into spoilers. I'm gonna try my hardest. Explain it like this: the first 2 hours, the movie was green light. It was just green light, green light, green light, green light, green light. We're doing good, and then all of a sudden, with 20 minutes left, it was red light, and it was a different movie. That's the best way I can describe it. And once you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think that's going to be the biggest complaint of the movie. And obviously, I mean, I feel like I'm talking about this every time I see a superhero movie, but the villains are next to useless. But that's not really why I'm coming to see this movie. I came to see Wonder Woman, to see her island with all the other warrior Amazons. I came to see Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. I didn't go into this movie expecting like a great villain, so I wasn't too disappointed, but they set it up. They set the villain Ares up, and when she finally fights him, it's just kind of like, okay, sure, like whatever. I don't really care. And that being said, all of the fights I thought were really cool, but the CGI not so much. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more the CGI is kind of was really noticeable. And there were a couple moments right in the beginning where I'm like, oh, that was a weird editing choice, or that was a weird CGI choice, but oh, okay. And then you move on through the movie, and the CGI is just, yeah, it wasn't great. Definitely not the worst I've seen, but just felt lazy, especially when you have a movie like Batman v Superman that, even though it was a bad movie in my opinion, had incredible visual effects. So it just was a little shocking to me, and maybe I need to see it again just to like really analyze that. But off of first viewing, especially in the last 20 minutes, the visual the CGI specifically was lacking. It looked a little not unfinished, but just not touched up, which is disappointing to see in a big action superhero blockbuster like this. And when you have a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that's out right now that has top-notch visual effects, you kind of just expect it all around. So that was honestly one of my biggest disappointments. But honestly, I'm kind of scratching my head. It's a weird movie. I thought it was good, and I'm definitely gonna see it at least one more time in the theater. And it's definitely the best the DC has got to offer. But I don't have the urge to say I really liked the movie. I don't have that urge. I liked it. I'm gonna see it again, and I thought it was good. And that's about all I can say. It was in the words of Robert Parker, it was not good, not great. But I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. Is what I'm gonna get it. So anyway, guys, those are my incoherent and rambling thoughts on Wonder Woman. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. That helps me out. Once you guys see more of my content, it drives me to make more content. So, if you like it, if you like hearing what I have to say, keep hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, have a good one.